Letters and love poems were read out in the High Court today in the defamation trial against the former Conservative Party leader Colin Craig. The jury heard how Mr Craig allegedly sent them to his press secretary, Rachel McGregor. He's being sued by the executive director of the Taxpayers Union, Jordan Williams, over comments he made in a news conference and in a widely distributed leaflet in July of last year. Our reporter Sarah Robson has been in court and joins us now in the studio. Sarah, welcome. What was Mr Williams saying in court today?
So Jordan's continued giving evidence today. He's been reading out letters and poems that Colin Craig had allegedly sent to Rachel McGregor. In one of those letters, which Mr Craig has allegedly wrote in late 2013, he told Ms McGregor that he had benefited from her healing hands in relation to some back pain he was experiencing. Mr Craig also allegedly said that he had been considering buying Rachel McGregor some jewellery. And along with those letters, Mr Williams also read out some poems that Mr Craig had written, and in one of those Mr Craig implied that he wished he was two men so he could also be in a relationship with Ms McGregor. And in a section of a poem titled Beautiful, Mr Craig told Ms McGregor that she looked great in a new dress that she had bought, and had also made a number of other suggestive comments, and Mr Craig had allegedly signed all those letters with Love C.
Right. All of this is taking place, and then the jury hears from Christine Rankin. What does she have to say?
So Christine Rankin is the former chief executive of the Conservative Party, and she stood in Epsom at the 2014 election. She told the jury that she had been 100% supportive of Colin Craig, and she didn't actually initially believe any of those rumours that she had heard for quite some time about Colin Craig's relationship with Ms McGregor. But she said she had raised that issue with Mr Craig a number of times, and he had always sworn to her that there was nothing going on, and she had believed him and continued to believe that he was a decent and moral man.
You said she was 100% supportive of Colin Craig. I remember that very well. I mean, she was one of his very biggest supporters.
Absolutely.
And so this is really material. What changed her mind?
So Ms Rankin said that Mr Craig had admitted to her that on election night in 2011 that he had kissed Ms McGregor, but Mr Craig had insisted that that was consensual. He also, though, admitted sending flowery messages to Ms McGregor, and this kind of ramped up Ms Rankin's concerns about what impact these issues would have on both the Conservative Party and on Colin Craig's reputation. And under cross-examination by Mr Craig's lawyer, Ms Rankin said the icing on the cake was really when Mr Williams, who is of course the person taking the defamation action, had mentioned to her these sexually explicit texts that Mr Craig had allegedly sent to Ms McGregor.
So that was today. What happens next?
So next, Rachel McGregor herself will be giving evidence in the next couple of days, we're expecting, and this afternoon Jordan Williams was continuing to be cross-examined. So,
Sarah Robson, who has been in the High Court, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Indeed.